Hey everyone, welcome to Shimmer Girl Talks. The video clip that I am going to share with you, I got it from Blacklight Podcast with Thon Lexi, and it's a young lady from TikTok stating what I have noticed over the years, particularly when I used to work with white people. And I've mentioned that before on my channel, probably, a few years back. I've even said it in my personal life. One thing that I've noticed with working with white people, they were always attending someone's wedding, a baby shower where people were already married, et cetera, et cetera. So I'm going to let you listen to the video first.
Anyone answers, like, for real. Like, if you girls have ideas and thoughts on this, please let me know. But this is really interesting and low-key a little triggering, but let's get into it. Every time I've worked for a white family over the past decade as a nanny, every time I walk into their house, it's like guaranteed. I see on their fridge, or they have this little bulletin board of all of these wedding invitations and bridal showers and baby showers and bachelorette party invites, and they always have something pertaining to marriage and family. But when I go to a black household, I never see this stuff. I never see invites. I never see like this joy of, oh my God, my friends are getting married, I have all these weddings to go to, unless if it's a black woman who's single. This is what I've noticed. Who's single, she might have some white friends or Hispanic friends or, Asian friends that are getting married, and she'll go to their wedding. But it's not like, oh my gosh, my black girlfriends are getting married, so we're just going to go to all these weddings. And it was a humbling little moment I had this morning as I'm like calculating.
The young woman is not lying. I have witnessed this myself. And one thing that I have mentioned over the years, multiple times over, and you even see it in today's comments online, most recently, Simone Biles, and you all have heard about that already. But I want to share a list that I came up with a few years ago that I have seen and heard black women say, nobody else, black women. So I'm going to read down, I'm not going to read them all, but when it comes to marriage, it only benefits men. It's for wealthy people. All men cheat. They've never seen a healthy marriage. Marriage is really no big deal. Marriage is a white man's construct. Marriage is archaic. And my favorite, marriage isn't a cure-all. Or only desperate, ugly, with nothing going for themselves want marriage. My husband must be rich or I don't want marriage at all. Wives are maids. The divorce rate is 50%. All wives are miserable and unhappy. I've literally only heard black women say these things. And I also would like to add that black women are also raising the males and the females to go against marriage. Now, this young lady, and I'm going to share the video in my description box, her solution is black women need to get with non-black men. Now, if you get with a non-black man and it's organic, fine and dandy, beautiful. That's, how it works out for you, fine. But that's not going to be most black women's reality. And the problem is so many black women think that, again, going to another race is the solution. The grass is greener on the other side. And some of you might be like, yeah, but you be praising those passport bros. So you saying that the grass is greener for them? Here's the difference. When you have women of other races who expect marriage, they revere marriage, they want marriage, there's a big difference. When you look at our community, if you are, the fact that I'm talking about this, I'm going to be called a pick-me, a mammy, I'm male identified, I'm seeking male validation. All the little nasty little insults that black women will throw at other black women who want to gain an understanding so they can be in a marriage, or if they are married, obviously I'm going to be pro-marriage because I'm a wife. What would I look like down in marriage and I have a whole husband? I'm not going to do that anyway. And another thing that a lot of black women like to say, yeah, well, she only married just so she could say that she's married. It's always something negative when it comes to marriage from a black woman's point of view. Not all black women. So for this young lady to say, I don't understand why other race women, they're getting married and wifed up and this and that. Pay attention to the women in those other races, and then listen to what black women say about marriage. It's not rocket science. You can't be against marriage, but then want marriage. And here's another thing. A lot of black women, I feel, they take their cues from television, for example. They're looking at the Hallmark channels. They're looking at the men in movies, men of other races in movies, thinking that that is what marriage is about and everything. You know, the warm fuzzies, the Disney princess aspect of it all. The one thing that I've noticed with a lot of women in our community, they revere marriage if it is a rich black man, for example. If it's a black man, he's got to be ultra rich and, you know, perfect in every way and all of that stuff. Or a man from another race who does not have to have the same credentials as a black man, just the fact that he's of another race, she thinks that she's going to get this life that she's seeking. And two little short stories. One, and I plan to do maybe a video on that unless I just, you know, discuss it here. You have a black woman who married an Indian man, and he ultimately left her because, well, I'm sure she had like a modern minded, probably raised by a single mother mindset, and he couldn't deal with that. Now, I don't know the whole story pertaining to all of that, but I'm going to share a bit of that right here. The grass is literally not greener on the other side. Men are basically men no matter where you find them. The difference is how he was raised, who were his influences. And as I've mentioned in another video, women of other races raise both their sons and their daughters to expect marriage in the future for their future, you know, lives and for their children and stuff like that. Black people, both male and females, are not getting that message from our mothers. And as I've said on my videos in my, you know, on my channel before, I was raised by a single mother. Now, my mother, she had me out of wedlock, and then she went and married my stepfather, and she stayed with him for, I think Kevin Samuels used to say that 5 years is like the time limit on marriages from a black woman's standpoint. And then they're seeking divorce for whatever their reasons are. But my mother was with my stepfather for about 7 years before she ultimately left him. And might I add, it wasn't due to infidelity or abuse. A lot of women leave their marriages out of boredom, you know, seeking this happiness that is unobtainable in a lot of cases. You see what's happening with Tia Mowry, but that's another topic. I've already discussed that. But I just wanted to talk about that one young lady just for a brief moment. I just think that, you know, a lot of young women, they're paying attention to what the older women have deceived them on. Girl, marriage ain't important. Go find yourself. Ain't nothing wrong with having 5 kids by 5 different men. No, you go get your education and worry about a husband later. Meanwhile, the women of other races are getting their husbands while they're working on their education or yeah, while they're in college, they're getting their husbands. But that's my topic for today. I just wanted to share that because I'm not understanding our community when it comes to this. Um, Again, Black women, for the most part, from what I see online, and you literally don't even have to take my word for it, they are the main ones fighting against marriage. You could see it in the marriage comments online, Facebook, Lipstick Alley, wherever you want to go. But that was my topic for today. I hope that you check out my other videos, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will talk to you later. Bye.